Nowadays, the idea of no intimacy before marriage in a lot of parts of society is probably something that seems absolutely absurd, and it's something that isn't even considered, isn't even spoke about, nothing like that. So today we are going to be speaking about this topic. Should we be intimate? Should we be sleeping with our partners before we're actually married, etc.? I'm going to be reacting to Nick Freitas. I believe that's how you say his name. But I'm going to be reacting to this video, right? And a few videos actually we're going to dive into. And we're going to be discussing the topic. So let's have a look. First of all, Nick Freitas is a G, right? So let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's listen into what he's saying.
Physical is the easiest thing to figure out in a marriage. All these people running around going, how do you know if you're sexually compatible? What are you, a moron? Like, it's the easiest thing to figure out. Boy, girl, yeah, the parts work. At this point, it's just about figuring out that relationship.
Don't get physical before the marriage. You can see a lot of quirks, you can see a lot of character flaws and things like that if you're not physically driven to be with them. And the minute you get really, really physical, your chemistry takes over and all your hormones are telling you what to do, and they're blinding you to things that you really need to see.
It's a valid point. It's a valid point. I do hear it, because look, when it comes down to being intimate, I do believe, yeah, that a lot of people are in relationships that if they didn't have the physical intimacy from, and to clarify, when I say physical intimacy, obviously I'm speaking about actually the act of sleeping together, making love, etc., right? As in being intimate, holding hands, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, like I believe that those are good things. Those are like, it could be part of someone's love language, right? But it's, for the most part now, a lot of these relationships, again, if it wasn't for the physical intimacy, if it wasn't for them sleeping together and all that kind of stuff, they wouldn't even be able to stand each other. Because a lot of them, they get into relationships based on the sex that they're actually having. Like, that's what even starts it. The first night they're meeting, that's what they're doing. That's how they're getting to know each other. That's like the most important thing before even understanding who the person that they're talking to is. Or a lot of the times, again, you got guys, you got girls who are 304s. They're out here in these streets. And again, like there's a lot of guy 304s. There's a lot of guy 304s. There's a lot of female 304s, yeah, who are just out here pretty much just button bashing, yeah. When I say button bashing, I mean they're just out. They're just trying to do whatever they can, right? Going from woman to woman to woman, or man to man to man. And in my opinion, this isn't really ideal. I don't believe that it's operating at our highest level if you're moving like that. Now, granted, I'm personally not religious. As a result, I don't necessarily, I wouldn't personally take it as far as to say I wouldn't have sex with my partner before marriage. At least that's not how I see it currently. But I will say that for me personally, I'm not sleeping with anyone who I'm not in a relationship with. And I'm only in a relationship with someone with the intent to marry them, if that makes sense. So it's like, for me, that's how I see it. Now, the idea of waiting until marriage, I respect it. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think it's a great positive thing. And I respect people that actually do that. And I do believe that right now in society, again, a lot of parts of society, of course, there's different pockets, but the popular opinion, or a popular opinion, is that you have to have that intimacy to be able to know each other. And I disagree with that. And I think a lot of relationships are backwards. And in reality, I fully agree. You need to focus on knowing the person, understanding the person first on a spiritual level. And then you're not just having sex, you're making love, because you are sleeping with someone who you actually have these deep emotions for, because you understand them at a core. And that's going to be a much more beautiful feeling in comparison to, oh yeah, I'm just, you know what I'm saying, I'm just smashing, just having a shag. Do you get what I mean? Let's continue.
Just articulated. You're not going to see all the other markers and the things that really make a
Oh, and that's another point as well, what his wife was saying, right? The fact that as that physical intimacy is occurring, that can potentially blind you to certain things, depending on how clear you're thinking and all that kind of stuff. But it's like a lot of people, they get physically intimate and then now they're going to look past so many things because people are so, I feel like in our society, people are so like reliant on sex. It's like Kendrick Lamar says in his song, niggas will lose their mind for it, die for it, cry for it, pussy, spend time for it, da, 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 da. I don't remember the rest of the words. But it's like, essentially, niggas are out here losing their mind for the nyash. Yeah? Like they can't even think straight without it. They're controlled. They're controlled by the nyash. And also, certain toxic women are actually going to use that against you. So even from that perspective, you got to be able to be solid within your own man. And it's the same vice versa. If you're a woman, it's the same thing. You don't want to be controlled by that. You don't want that to be the thing that holds you together. Realistically, you want the thing to hold you together to be your souls, your spirit, your connection. And then you want that to be the cherry on top that makes everything even better. You know what I'm saying? And that's the intention, is to be able to have children, obviously, down the line, all that kind of stuff in those kind of situations. So yeah, I'm with this message.
work. Focus up front on the spiritual, the emotional, the intellectual. Once those things have been worked out, let the physical work itself out after you get married. Physical is the easiest thing to figure out in a marriage. All these people running around going, how do you know if you're sexually compatible?
Emotional, the intellectual. And I fully agree. And I think that's a big reason why, for example, even the lady that I've told you guys about on this channel, I see a lot of potential. I see a lot of potential for the future with her. Even we haven't had this physical intimacy and all this kind of stuff, because again, remember, we haven't even physically met in person, right? And it's like, even without that, because of how deep we've been able to conversate, it's like on an emotional and on a spiritual level, a lot of things are making sense. And then it's like, okay, cool. The next step is then, okay, we meet in person, we see what the vibe is and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, I do believe that, again, like what he said, the physical intimacy, it's an important part of a relationship, right? But it's not the most important. The most important is your values. Are your values aligned? The most important is, how connected are you? How spiritually connected are you? Without trying to sound too much like a hippie, right? But that's my opinion on this. Let's go on to the next video, because that was, you know what I'm saying, Nick Freitas. Shout out to Nick Freitas, you know. He's the guy, yeah? Let's see what he's saying here, because this video, it links, right? It's a slightly different topic, but we can actually link it together. Yeah, let me know what you guys' thoughts are though about the whole sex before marriage concept. I really believe strongly, and again, but it's good. It's good to preserve your sexual energy. Preserve your sexual energy for the person that you actually see yourself spending the rest of your life with. Don't be a 3 or 4. Don't be out here on these streets. Doesn't matter if you're a guy, doesn't matter if you're a girl. A lot of guys will think, oh yeah, well, I'm a guy, so I'm gonna be a hoe. Like, it's calm. I mean, you're not even going to describe yourself as a hoe, but in reality, that's from your actions, that's actually what you're doing. Yeah? And then you got women who are doing the same thing, right? Like, it's not the vibe. It's not the vibe. It's not my personal recommendation. It's not, I don't believe that operating like that is operating as your higher self. Because what are you gaining from that? You're gaining short-term gratification. But if you're not connected to this person on a soul level, that's all it is. It's just short-term gratification. You're not building anything long-term. In fact, if anything, now, I don't know how accurate this is in the real world, but this is how I see it. As you're having all of these sexual relations with so many different people, so many different guys, so many different ladies, whatever it is, yeah, you're now building a bunch of different soul ties, like mini soul ties, to the point where now you're probably going to struggle, or it's going to be more challenging for you to now build a stronger connection with the person you're actually supposed to spend the rest of your life with, because your energy is so dispersed because you've been sharing your energy with so many people. That's how I see it, personally, and that goes for guys and girls.
I hate it. The whole locker room talk thing where I hate it, where guys like send around and like bash their wives. I hate that crap. My wife is my confidant. That doesn't mean I won't have a good talk with my buddy Nate, but it is.
And this is some real talk as well. Like, guys be out here bashing their wives or girlfriends or whatever it is. And so do, again, ladies, same thing. And it's like, where's the constructiveness in that? Like, I've seen certain clips where it's like, I saw this, I don't remember her name, but it was actually a reaction video I was watching, and then we're reacting to a video of a lady, some celebrity lady or something like that, and her husband or something is a comedian, and she just be like chatting rubbish about him on podcasts and stuff, and I'm like, bro, I don't like. It's crazy. It's crazy. Because the way I see it, again, this is also where I believe, this is why I say it links. Because if you really have this strong connection and you have this strong spiritual connection, you're not even going to have these bad things to say about your partner. And there's going to be things that, of course, aren't perfect and that kind of stuff that you guys are going to want to work through, but you're going to want to work through them together rather than just bad-mouthing them behind their back. And of course, maybe sometimes getting... I guess, like a perspective or something. Maybe you need some kind of advice, and maybe that's a bit of a different situation. But the bad mouthing, like, I can't respect it, man. Like, why are you even in that relationship for real? And
It's
also,
never
again,
to the detriment.
it's not even just about leave that relationship, but it's about making sure that you are, number one, operating with integrity, because again, I don't even see how that's operating within integrity. Right? But number two, you are selecting the right partner, as in you're selecting a partner that you don't need to be bad mouthing behind their back and all that kind of stuff. Look at these things, and again, if your relationship is just based on physical attraction, it's going to be harder for you to see these things, and then what's going to happen is you are now in a trap. And what I mean by you're in a trap is you're already in the relationship with this person now, and now you're in the relationship, now you're starting to see all these annoying things, but now, because you're addicted to this physical stimulation that you need to receive or whatever it is, right? You're gonna not even see things clearly enough. You're gonna look past the fact that you're being disrespected on a regular basis. That's not ideal.
My wife, right? I do not talk trash about my wife. If it's not like a funny stereotypical joke I would tell right there in front of her, then nope. When I go to talk to somebody about an issue I'm dealing with or something I'm struggling with, whatever else, it has to be someone that is dedicated to my marriage succeeding. There is no just me or just her anymore. There's us. We're still our own
That's a valid point as well. It has to be, if you are getting that kind of advice, have it be from someone that actually has, like, cares. Do you get what I mean?
person, sure. But I signed up for
And not just cares, but that has good perspectives and good advice, and you know that they'll, you know what I'm saying?
us. And part of my job is to make sure that she knows that that's always my objective. And she does the same thing for me. And the way she does that is by not just telling me she loves me, but by showing me respect for the things that I'm worthy of respect, and letting me know that she's still very proud of me.
I think I'm gonna go home, give Johnny a big hug, and tell him I appreciate all the things that he does for our family, because you're spot on. It cannot be overemphasized how important that is both ways in a relationship. The love and respect and communication, and the appreciation and the gratitude.
I hate
Wholesome. I said most of what I really had to say there. So we go to this video. This one's not Nick Freitas. This is a different video by Unplanned Podcast. Their name, I had to check the name because it used to be something else. It used to be I think their names are Matt and maybe Abby or something. I used to watch their videos a while back, and this just came up whilst I was looking at Nick Freitas's videos, right? But yeah, shout out to these two. Anyways, this is a very short clip, right? Check it out. Watch.
Did you guys wait till marriage?
We did.
And so you were together from...
It was 5 years. We counted.
Wait, whoa.
That was the hardest thing.
That's
that
insane.
was the most disciplined thing we ever had to do.
How long was your engagement?
A year and a half.
Holy freak, dude. I thought ours was bad.
What was y'all's?
13 months.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's pretty much the video. I just wanted to share that because shout outs to them. Like I respect that highly for real. No sexual intimacy for 5 years. I respect it. Obviously, these people in this video are Christian, so it's of their faith to do that. And I respect the commitment because there's a lot of people who will be, for example, Christian, but they will ignore this part of the message type thing. But I respect this. I respect this massively.
Yeah.
Do not
And obviously she mentioned that it was hard. It wasn't easy, but they did it because they believed that it was important and it worked out for the best. So overall, I would say ultimately, whether it's that you're going to wait for marriage, whether it's that you're going to wait till you're in a relationship, whatever it is, but I do believe be more careful with your sexual energy and where you're dispersing it. You don't need to give your sexual energy to everyone. Don't be a 304. Don't be a hoe. Actually have some kind of standards to where, and your standards shouldn't just be about physical attraction. Your standards should be, is this someone that I actually see myself living life with? Is this someone that I actually see a future with? And that's obviously a multifaceted standard, right? Like there's multiple steps to consider within that. But rather than, is this someone that is making me hard right now? Like, really and truly, I believe it's time to grow up, yeah? Regardless of how old you are, by the way. You don't need to be living that degenerate lifestyle. Preserve your sexual energy for the one who actually matters. Or again, you might go ahead and preserve that sexual energy. You might get into a relationship. It might not necessarily go how you wanted it and all that kind of stuff. Cool, then you might get into a different relationship. What I'm talking about is don't be out here just doing these one night stands and all of that kind of stuff, right? Yeah, that's what I have to say. And by the way, this isn't even to say that I haven't done a one night stand in my life type thing. That's not even, it's not even what I'm saying. Because years ago, it was a bit of a different type of perspective that I had. I mean, I've never been a hoe. Never been a hoe. Trust me, I'll tell you that. But that's a story for another day. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's just there was one instance, literally one instance where I did that, right? So I say that to say it's not one of them ones where I'm saying that if that's the kind of lifestyle that you're living right now, that there's something wrong with you or that you need to fix up or that. I mean, yeah, I would encourage you to fix up. That is what I am saying. What I'm not saying is that you need to look at yourself in a way where you're like, oh, I've done my life wrong or this or that. But work on being better though. Like work on not being a 304. Work on switching it up. You know what I'm saying? Work on going down a more wholesome path like Nick Freitas or like these individuals that we see. Obviously in this social media world, a lot of these guys, like you see that people are out here glorifying even stuff like cheating, for example. And cheating is just another maybe perhaps cheating is an extension of this problem, because when your sexual energy is so dispersed, now you think that you need to keep dispersing that even after you're in a relationship, even after you're married, and you have trouble with even trying to fathom that, right? Anyways, with that being said, I need to go sleep. So I appreciate you for tuning in. You've been tuning in with Learning with Lamar. And let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions on the topic. Let me know what you think. And let me know how you liked the format as well. In this reaction video, what I focused on doing is making the value a bit more clear. I pre-watched these videos so that I knew what kind of value I was going to be bringing to you guys. Let me know if you prefer it like this, or if you prefer the live reactions where I just watch a whole long video and just react live or whatever comes in a moment. But anyways, with that being said, again, lots of love. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.